So recently, I picked up this here Sunfire v245, and it's pretty interesting in my opinion. It's a Spark-based server, which, if those of you who don't know what Spark is, it is Sun's RISC processor that at the time competed against the DEC Alpha CPU and PowerPC, along with Intel, but I was mainly in the consumer space at that point. But yeah, I've always wanted to mess with something with a Spark processor in it, but I mean, the only ones that I really could readily find were on eBay, and I really didn't want to pay for the shipping of, well, something like this. So it's just something that I've kind of kept in the back of my mind that I'd like to mess with, but never really actively pursued. That was until a couple weeks ago when an individual was locally selling a bunch of these Sunfire servers. So I, of course, bought a couple of them. I bought one of these as well as two V210s that I may do a video on later, possibly, if there's interest. But today I'm going to talk about the V245. So it is a dual processor. It is a dual processor configuration. It has two UltraSpark 3Is, each running at 1.5 gigahertz. It has 16 gigs of RAM in it, DDR1, I believe, RAM. It has 4 hard drive bays. They are SAS, 2.5 inch, and I have a drive in here right now. It's just a HP 73 gig 10K drive. And yeah, I've been tinkering around with it for a while. I think I got a pretty good feel for it. And I wanted to try and actually legit use it for something, but well, I have a pretty fair amount of servers already that are doing most of the things I need. So, you know, I honestly wasn't sure what to do with this thing actually. Well, until I was. I figured this thing would make a great Minecraft server. I mean, it's Sun makes Java, Minecraft runs on Java. It's fucking perfect. It could be a Minecraft server. And at least on paper, it does theoretically have the horsepower for it. It's basically, I mean, the processors are one thread, one core, but there are two of them. And Minecraft is a little bit more, it does rely more on single core performance rather than multi-thread and multi-core performance. And well, with this having two CPUs, that theoretically shouldn't be a problem. Now, they aren't exactly the fastest. They do run at 1.5 gigahertz, but that should be plenty. I mean, hell, people run Minecraft servers on Raspberry Pis. Oh shit, I nudged the camera. There I go. But yeah, they run on Raspberry Pis. So it should, in theory, be decent enough for it. Anyway, so let me open the top off and show you what I'm working with. I'm just gonna set this down over here. All right, see if I can move my camera. This is the main board of the server where all the magic happens. You have a very nice fan shroud that directs the air from these 680 millimeter fans. And let me tell you something about these fans. These guys are loud. I mean, you'll find that out once I power this thing up, but yeah, these things are loud. And all 6 of them are directed under here. So temps aren't really an issue in this server. I'm gonna go ahead and remove this. It has a very nice Sun Microsystems logo on it. It's a very nice touch. Here's the 2 heat sinks. You know, each processor is underneath these. And then each processor is capable of addressing to 4 slots of RAM. I'm not too sure what the maximum amount is. These are 64-bit processors, so I'd imagine it's a fair amount. Way more than what this has in it, which is 16 gigs, like I said earlier. And then back here you have the PCI Express slots. These are X16 slots, which is pretty nice. Although they are only half height, but I mean, most fair chunk of server cards are half height. And then over here you have your PCI X slots, and those are full height. But you can also use PCI cards in this. PCI is compatible with PC. You can use PCI cards in PCI X slots, since PCI X is, as the name implies, really just an extension of PCI. I very well could be wrong on this, but I think it just allows it to have a 64-bit bus, I think. I could be wrong. I'm probably wrong. I think I have that wrong. But either way, PCI X allows you to have more bandwidth over PCI. That much I do know. That's about it for the server itself. You got a fan over here. I'm not too sure if there's an expansion bay that goes over here or not. It could just be for airflow. Yeah, I had this unhooked. It helps quiet it down a little bit. This very well could just be for the hard drives, since they are about right here. But I have it unplugged and it doesn't seem to hurt anything. And yeah, you got your power supplies underneath. This does have dual redundant power supplies. I just have one hooked up though, just because, well, it complains if I have both connected but one unplugged. And I don't feel like finding another power cable for this. So one power supply is what it goes with. And yeah, that's about it in terms of the under server side. One interesting thing I did notice is that this actually does have a Freescale. Might be kind of hard to see, but yeah, it has a Freescale chip in it, and it's a PowerPC. I'm not too sure what exactly it controls. But it seems to be an MPC 855 or MPC 885ZP66. I'm not too sure what that chip is or what it does, but it's pretty interesting to see a PowerPC chip in here. If I had to guess, it's either controlling the ALOM, the Advanced Lights Out Management, or may have a hand in the OPB, or the Open Boot Prompt. I'm not too sure though. Also has an ARM chip. I also have no idea what it does. But yeah, that's the Sunfire v245. So I'm gonna go ahead and rack this guy, and I will be back shortly. I got it all racked, so it's going to take a long time to boot up, and when it's all finished with its system checks, I will be back, and then we can get the Minecraft server all up and running. It dawned on me that I actually haven't really even talked about what OS I'm running on this, so figured now is a better time than any. And you would think that with this being Sun hardware and this being a Sun CPU, that the obvious choice would be Solaris. And despite this thing being well over 10 years old, you can run a fairly recent version of Solaris on it. Although that's not really saying a whole lot, considering it seems like Oracle's pretty much just forgotten about it. But yeah, you can run, the latest I believe is Solaris 11 on this, and it does run just fine on it. I had to run it to actually reset the admin password for the network manager. And yeah, it works just fine. The problem is that I have no idea how the fuck to use it, so that is not what I went with this. I decided to go with Linux on this, and there are two Linux distributions in particular that are, well, you can actually still run the latest version of on a Spark 64 based system. There's Gentoo and Debian. I'm not too familiar with Gentoo, although I've heard it's a pretty not bad distro. I decided to go with Debian with this just because that's what I am the most familiar with. And I also know that it has a pretty good amount of packages in the repo as well. So yeah, that's what is on this disk right now is Debian. Debian 11 in particular, which is Bullseye, and like I said, the latest version. I think it's the unstable version, but you know, it's fine for the most part. I don't know. I've had a kernel panic a couple times on me, but it's probably fine. As long as I get to the login prompt, which I did, I'm good. So I am on the login prompt, and now what I'm going to do is drop out of the console session that I was in just to watch it boot, and then also log out of the network manager, and then SSH into my Debian server. So, and this is running on the Spark 64 processor. It is a 64-bit big endian dual processor system. And the model of it is a UltraSpark 3i Jalapeno. Now that we are in, what do we need to actually run a Minecraft server? Well, we need a couple things. First off, we need Java. Now, Java is not exactly available on Debian, at least on the Spark 64 release. But what is available on this is OpenJDK. And there's actually quite a few different versions of OpenJDK available for Debian 11. But you can check what's available via app-cache. Search OpenJDK. So we have OpenJDK 11, 15, 16, and 17 available. So pretty recent ones. I decided to go with, I already went ahead and installed it just to make sure that this is working. Version. I went ahead and installed OpenJDK version 11 on it, which is the oldest one available in the repo. And the only reason I did that is because I'm going to be running a bit older version of Minecraft on this. Which will be for reasons that will be apparent soon. So yeah, I have Java, and that is the importantest thing for running Minecraft, other than the Minecraft server jar, which I also went ahead and got all set up on here. So cd into the server folder, and then there are some files in here, the actual server jar, which this is 1.2.5, and then just all the files that it creates. You gotta run it first, and then it'll just go through those. So, to actually run the jar file, we have to pass the parameters, and the first one, just gonna set a few things up. XMS8G. What I'm doing now is just passing a few parameters in. For the XMS8G tells us that the minimum amount of RAM it can use is 8 gigs. And the next one I'm going to do is XMX, and tells it the max amount of RAM it can use is 8 GB. I mean, I have 16 gigs in this thing. Why not just give it a fair chunk of it? And then the next parameter is it tells me what jar file to use, and then it is going to be the 125 server.jar. And it will go ahead and generate the world. Sometimes it takes a second. Preparing level Sparkcraft. And it's done. Took about 70 seconds, just a little over a minute. Not bad, not bad at all. I mean, granted, my computer I'm currently remoting into this server from could generate that in seconds, but, you know, whatever. So yeah, we have our Minecraft world all up and running. So now it is time to go ahead and get my computer and play some Minecraft. So this is why I wanted to use version 1.2.5 for the Minecraft server. Because, as you can see, there is a version of Minecraft 1.2.5 that actually runs on these old PowerPC Macs running OS X Tiger or OS X Leopard. It's a modified version, like I said, and it also has a few improvements or performance improvements as well. So it's running as best as it possibly could. I'm running it on a iBook G4. It's the 1.2 gigahertz model with 768 megs of RAM. And it's running Mac OS X Tiger. So I'm going to go ahead and just open up multiplayer. May as well just add the server. Sparkcraft. And add the server address. 245 and done. Says communication error, yet it works just fine. What a weird coinky-dink. Anyway. So yeah, and I am now connected to my Minecraft server running on the Sunfire v245. And to be honest, performance isn't bad. I mean, the game itself runs pretty good on this with a few stuttering here and there, but I mean, to be honest, the fact that it's running at all is pretty impressive. But yeah, I mean, you can see I already have something. Oh, dang it. Oh, crap, there's something in here. Oh, man, it's nighttime. Dang it, I'm so dead. Okay, I'm good. I think I need to get some wood to make a sword. Oh, crap! How the hell did I not die? Man, I forgot how freaking scary creepers are. Okay, let me just get my wood in peace. Jeez. And then just getting some wood, Alright, so yeah, I mean, as you can see, it runs pretty good on this. I'm probably gonna die. I mean, it takes a second to render once you get to the edge of the world, but it loads in pretty quickly after that. Whoa, what is that over there? Oh, it's just a zombie. But yeah, I mean, this is Minecraft running on the Sunfire v245. It ain't terrible. So yeah, I'm not gonna sit here and just have you watch me play Minecraft. I mean, there's plenty of people who do that better than I do. I mainly just kind of wanted to show that it was at least possible to run it on some hardware that it never really was intended to run on. But yeah, I mean, that's about it. Hope you enjoyed this journey. Yeah, I mean, dang it. I mean, if you like this kind of stuff, let me know. I have a bunch of other, oh my god. I have a bunch of other weird hardware. Crap. And I'd be more than happy to show it off. And also, if you'd like to see more of the Sunfire server, let me know as well. I actually really rushed through the introduction of it simply just because, well, okay, it took me like 4 or 5 re-recordings to actually get it to where it was, because the footage I had was like 30 plus minutes, because I would just talk on and on about the server, because in my opinion there's just a lot to talk about with it. It's a very interesting and very cool piece of old hardware. But I kind of figured that'd be boring to a lot of people, just rattling on about the server, which I guess I'm doing now, but I digress. Anyway, so if you'd like to see more of that, let me know. I'd be more than happy to break it out again and do more with it. And I'd be happy to take ideas on what else to do it with as well. Although I'm not Bitcoin mining with it, so don't even suggest that. Yeah, hope you enjoyed. Yeah, thanks for watching.